Hi everyone, happy Easter. Hope you're having a good day. So this is the last story of the most bizarre true crime stories ever told. This one is about this man here, and his name is Ahmad Suradji. He is the killer shaman from Indonesia. So it says, Ahmad Suradji was born on January 10th, 1949, in Dami, northern Sumatra, Indonesia. He was the ignored and neglected son of the village's shaman. Ahmad's father was greatly respected in the town and didn't have the time to dote on him. Ahmad acted out early. He did not do well in school and didn't have any friends. He left home at 19 and immediately got arrested for petty crime and violence. He spent 10 years in prison before he was 30 years old. When he was released, he went right back to life of crime and was back in prison within 2 years for cattle theft. Once he was released, Ahmad vowed to change his reputation. He decided he wanted to follow in his now deceased father's footsteps and become a shaman. Ahmad became known as Datuk Maringi, an honorific denoting his importance in society. People genuinely believed Ahmad had special powers that could help them with relationship, financial, and other personal issues. In 1986, Ahmad claimed to have had a dream in which his father told him he needed to collect and consume the saliva of 70 women to reach immortality. Gross. He set about killing women to achieve this goal, just to speed up the process. Later he said, my father did not specifically advise me to kill people, so I was thinking it takes ages if I had to wait to get to 70 women. Because I was trying to get it so fast as possible, I used my own initiative to kill. For the next 11 years, Ahmad used his authority in the community to kill women and get closer to his goal. His position as a shaman who would perform mildly embarrassing rituals for women meant that victims would come to him voluntarily, and most of the women who came to see him wouldn't tell their friends or family where they were going. Ahmad would claim he could do rituals to make women more beautiful and desirable, plus do things like ensure their boyfriends wouldn't leave them for other women. Though there was as many as 80 women reported missing from nearby villages, Ahmad was never suspected. As a datuk, he was far too revered in the community to be suspected of harming people, which allowed him to fly under the radar for so long. He charged between 200 and 400 for each ritual. He would take his victim into the sugarcane field near his house. She would help him dig a hole that was about waist deep. The woman would get into the hole and, with her arms by her sides, Ahmad would bury her until she was unable to move. He would then strangle her to death with a cord and collect her saliva. After she was dead, he would dig her up, strip her naked so she would decompose faster, and rebury her whole body, and her head pointing toward his house. On April 27, 1997, a farmer was walking his livestock through the sugarcane field that Ahmad used for his rituals. He stumbled across an unusual mound of soil that looked oddly disturbed. He informed the village head, Sujito, of his strange discovery. Sujito gathered a group of men to investigate the mound. When they dug into the soil, they were hit with the unmistakable smell of decay. According to the authorities, Ahmad joined the men who were digging up the corpse in the field and asked questions about what was going on. The authorities were called, and the body was identified as 21-year-old Sri Kamala Dewi. Dewi's mother, Arshana, was called to identify the body of her daughter, who had been missing for 3 days. She said, it's like my worst nightmare had come to life. I refused to believe it was her, but there she was, dead, in front of me. After the discovery of Dewey's body was reported, a rickshaw driver in the area, Andreas, came forward and said he had given Dewey a ride on April 24th to the Datuk's home. Dewey had apparently gone to Ahmad after a fight with her fiancé. She wanted to make sure he didn't leave her for another woman and was seeking his expertise to keep them together. Thanks to Suido's information, Ahmad was investigated. A number of personal items of missing women were found in his home. Ahmad was arrested and gave a series of disturbing confessions. About Dewey's murder, he said, that night she was scared because we had to walk through a cemetery to get to the sugarcane field plantation. I told her it was fine, but she insisted that my wife accompany us for the ritual. Dewey was the one who asked for my wife to come along, and that was how my wife got to know about the murders. The wife was referring to the name Tunumi. Ahmad actually had 3 wives. One source even said all 3 were sisters. Ahmad was arrested on April 30th, 1997 after a 4-day interrogation. He admitted to killing 16 women over a period of 5 years. After the belongings of at least 25 women were found on his property, he admitted to murdering a lot more. He told the authorities of his dream about his father and the plan to collect the saliva of 70 women. He said he sometimes hired sex workers to kill when business was slow because, although many of the victims came to him, he could not wait around for that to happen. Oh, you poor fucking thing. Wow. What a disgrace this man is. Eventually, he admitted to all the murders, saying, "We are all human beings. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. If I remember correctly, I have murdered 42 women. I did not suspect I was going to get caught. I did not try to run away when I saw the police because I was resigned to my fate." He also said it was an easy way to make money, as he would take the victims' payments for services, then take anything else they had on them after he killed them. The sugarcane field was thoroughly searched. 4 fresh bodies were able to be identified quickly. The remains of potentially even more than 42 victims were found, with 4 never being identified or claimed. The victims ranged in age from, 11 to 30. There ended up being as many as 80 missing person reports from nearby villages, though it has not been confirmed that Ahmad was responsible for all of them. Ahmad and his wife Tunumi were both arrested. Ahmad was executed by a firing squad on July 10, 2008. Tunumi received a death sentence as well, but it was later changed to life in prison.